Hello, everybody. So greetings from Canada. And Rob, thanks so much for the invitation. This is exciting to try something new. So I'm going to talk to you today about training for post CELTA grads. So depending on where you are in the world, you might be familiar with CELTA. In Canada, we use TESL, but that's okay. We're all on the same page here. And I just need to move ahead. There we go. So what I've done today is I've just decided to go step by step. So instead of just diving into the question, just to have you plan a bit about what it is that you really love about teaching. So step one, think about really what it is you love about teaching English. Is it the linguistics part? Is it the whole idea around second language acquisition? Do you teach young learners? Do you teach adults? Is it curriculum development? So for me, the best part was actually designing lesson plans. I love that. I love doing the research. I love the thinking process and just really writing. So that's what I spend most of my time doing now. So step two, think about the long-term career goal. So it's important to know what are some of the credentials that are required. So in Canada, for example, I taught 7 years at a college, and they were really going towards hiring people with a master's degree. So if you think that you want to teach at a post-secondary level, you really need to start planning ahead. If you're working abroad, then the credentials that are required are very different. So there are many people who decide to go and work abroad for a couple years and then come home and do something unrelated to teaching. So really just think about, 5-10 years down the road. And that's something I didn't do, but it seemed to have, it served me well, but that's my advice. Step three, so again, reflecting on what you really loved about English language teaching. So any training, costs money. It's a huge time commitment as well. And if you try to work and study at the same time, then it really is tough to do that. So before enrolling in any kind of program that might take a couple of years, really just think about the cost. So an example, a friend of mine who is an ESL teacher decided that she wanted to study linguistics at university. And then after a year, she decided that she didn't like linguistics and then switched to adult education. So that was a lot of money and time that she invested that wasn't a complete waste, but she could have used that time and money on something else. Step four, so the importance of connecting with other people. So you can contact teachers or people that you know that work in the ESL field and set up an informational interview. So find out how did they get the job that they're doing. So it could be something like managing a language center. Talk to people who have actually enrolled and completed the course that you're thinking of doing. Talk to the school. So for example, when I did my MEd, I physically had to drive to another city for 2 years. So they didn't have online courses. That's an option. But again, do you want face-to-face? If you're working abroad, sometimes you can still study if you can find an online program. Step five, so the importance of connecting with other TESL professionals on social media or at conferences. So for example, I was recommended to write some English curriculum by somebody that I hadn't even met face-to-face. So last summer, I had contacted several people on LinkedIn who were ELT writers and just asked them, how did you get into being a freelancer? And that's how I ended up getting some freelance work. So don't forget how powerful social media is. And I find teachers are generally pretty nice people. They are willing to help you, so don't be afraid to do that. Conferences, try to attend conferences. So many forums now where you can post a question and get information, so don't be afraid to do that. And talk to your colleagues. See what pathways that they took, and just get all the information that you need. So step 6, so talk to the different ELT organizations in your part of the world. So for example, I guess in the UK, it would be a very different pathway than it would be in Canada and North America. So just find out what the pathways are that are available to you. Step 7, so teachers are big planners. So if you decide that, oh, I want to study something in September, in Canada, that we don't work that way. So you usually have to apply at least a year in advance. You have to have transcripts. You have to really get organized. So again, think ahead and start collecting the documents and things that you need. So my final words. So while you're waiting to decide what your next step is, my advice is to continue to find ways to develop as a teaching professional. So today is a perfect example. And yesterday as well, learning from people in the field. Continue to read. There's no shortage of blogs, information online that can help you. Attend conferences. I'll see Rob in April in Birmingham. So excited about connecting with people outside my country. And continue to develop as a teaching professional. So that might be instructional coaching. Ask a colleague to come in and watch you teach, get some feedback, find a mentor, and just get all the information you need to make a very good decision. And I always say that teaching ESL is the best job in the world. I did it for 20 years, and I wish you all the best of luck.